And good morning, world. It is about 20 past 11. It is Tuesday, the 9th of January 2018. The Sun was conjunct Venus and Pluto literally within the last 2 or 3 hours. The Sun and Venus is going to be sextiling Mars over the next, day. Jupiter is coming up to sextile Pluto in a few days' time, of which more in a moment. Mercury in the sky is now at the end of Sagittarius. It's about passing over galactic centre. It's going to clear its retrograde final shadow period tomorrow. And finally, we'll be able to put this Mercury retrograde of the last 3 to 6 weeks behind us by tomorrow. The moon is currently at 25 degrees of Libra. It's just finished opposition to Uranus, and it is now void until about 10 past 8 tonight UK time. So today is not a day for making major changes of course, or at least over the next 9 hours. Jupiter sextiling Pluto. Done a few videos on this, so this will be the last one on this one. But I want to try and bring this down into the mundane, into the manifest, the material, the measurable and the physical. Jupiter deals with growth and expansion. Yeah, he overreaches and overstretches and bites off more than he can chew, and you never take everything Jupiter says as face value, but he always brings something positive. Jupiter's in Scorpio. Take out this sort of more populist, negative view of Scorpio as being deep, dark, sexy, magnetic, paranoid, mysterious, and actually look at Scorpio in terms of what it means in terms of materials. Scorpio is the opposite sign of Taurus. The 8th sign is the opposite sign to the 2nd sign. The 8th house is opposite the 2nd house. Scorpio has a lot to do with value and worth, same as Taurus does. But whereas Taurus is all about personal value and worth, i.e. money, possessions, assets, property, that food, that type of thing, Scorpio has more to do with external assets and worth. For example, if I were using this in the 8th house scenario, I'd be talking about the 8th house, the Scorpio house, as being the house of other people's money, as in insurances, pensions, taxes, bequests, inheritances, sponsorship, funding, business loans, anything that entails other people's money coming into your life. And with Jupiter in Scorpio, it does seem that there's a bigger view, a more world view coming in around the way we manage both our own resources and the world's resources, whether it be material or financial. Pluto in Capricorn, of course, ongoing, halfway through, 14-year trip, is talking about the transformation of boundary, and particularly in terms of transformation of political structure and establishment. I'm not even going to comment about the shape of the British government after yesterday's reshuffle. I mean, the British government at the moment is a joke. There is no substance there. And it's not for me at the moment to quote on any other people's governments. I might leave that for another week or two. But Jupiter sextiling Pluto. Sextile keyword is opportunity. The opportunity for transformation of value. The opportunity for revaluing the way we restructure our world and our governments and our organisations. And it's got a lot to do with the way that money flows in the world. Now, there's a great British comedian called Mark Thomas, and a few years ago he set out around the country asking the audience what they should talk about, and from there came a number of manifestos, the people's manifestos, as to what the people thought would be a good thing for the government to introduce. Some of those manifestos have now become law, such as gay marriage, for example. One of them was the idea of a maximum wage. Now, 10 years on from this idea, the parameters have changed somewhat, but I sort of looking at this and I'm thinking, yeah, we've all got this thing around the minimum wage. There's a minimum wage in the UK where I live. I'm fortunate enough to live in one of the more prosperous economies in the world, believe it or not. And there is a minimum wage here, and it's about £7-8. I'm not sure what it is, to be honest, but let's just say £8. So I'm thinking, well, if there's a minimum wage, why can't there be a maximum wage? If people say, if we have a maximum wage, then all the banks will leave. and all the bankers will leave, and all their money will leave. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, their money's already left. It's already living in the Cayman Islands and Singapore and Bermuda and Guernsey and Jersey and the Isle of Man and the Turks and Caicos Islands. It's only the bankers that live here, not their money. So if the bankers want to leave, I'll pay for their taxi to the airport. It seems to me that no one should be able, if no CEO or head of an organisation should be able to earn more than 20 times their lowest paid worker. Now, when you hear that, you think, well, actually, that's not excessive. Why should anyone earn more than 20 times more than their lowest paid worker? But then, if the lowest paid worker's on £8 an hour, translate that into dollars, yen, euros, wherever you are in the world, then that means that the highest paid person will only be on £160 an hour, which if you put that into the context of something like a yearly salary, well, then you're only looking at about £300,000, £400,000 a year, as opposed to the multi-millions which many of these hedge fund managers and bankers make, whilst cleaners are struggling to feed their children. The people who clean their offices can't even live properly. So if there were the idea of a maximum wage set to, for example, 20 times the minimum wage, I think that would be a great deal more equality in the world. It would really curb the excessive wages that are being paid. And yes, we would lose some of the parasites who want their multi-billion pound bonuses every year, but then let them go off to the countries that still pay this and further wreck their economies, not ours. So with Jupiter sextiling Pluto, I'm thinking it's a really good opportunity for a time of rebalancing the financial indulgences and extremes of the world around us. Yeah, I may be a pie in the sky idealist, but hey, something's got to be done. I know the videos are out of sync, incidentally. I don't know what to do about it. If there's anyone out there who's a YouTube specialist who can help me get these videos, the voice and the pictures back in the sync, I'd be really grateful. Meantime, it's a void moon all day today. Have a good day. Catch you tomorrow, world. Bye.